We're talking about the value of missed or lost contributions today to your Thrift savings plan account. Now, we all know the advice, invest early, invest often. It's very important, and it is, but I wanted to look at the actual numbers, how this translates. And I'm going to give you a very specific example. A lot of you know I'm part of a federal family. My wife's been a federal employee for a long time. When I first met her, she was great with money, great saver, doing a lot of good things, but she wasn't contributing to the Thrift savings plan. And I don't know how this came up exactly, but it did. And so we get to talking about it, and I said, you have to contribute at least up to that 5% mark so you get the full match. You get the agency automatic contributions, 1%, and then you can get the additional 4%, which is the full match. Now, that's been changed for new employees now, right? Automatic enrollment is a good thing for new hires, and you're automatically contributing 5% right away. But this wasn't the case. So we had a period of missed contributions. So I wanted to take a look at that and just for my own edification, see kind of what that worked out to be. So I took a look at it towards the end of the year. I'm going to share the numbers here with you. So what I did, I looked back and I just looked at the average salary and I kind of calculated a 4% missed match over that 4-year time period. I added it all up and I said we're going to invest as a lump sum here 10 years ago. Okay, so this is not exact because there's 4 years of compounding that would have taken place from those contributions. But what I came up with was around $14,504 of missed agency contributions, okay? Now, if we had invested that in the C fund or the S&P 500 for the 10 years after that, right, from 2013 to 2023, the S&P actually averaged 11.91%. And this was towards the end of the year when I ran these numbers, so that number is even higher at this point. So you can see it's a pretty big number. All right, so the 14,000 would have grown hypothetically to $47,444. That's what we would have as of towards the end of last year. All right, so you can see there's real money there, right, over a 10-year period. Now, where it gets interesting is if you look at the next 20 years, right? If you're gonna have a 30-year working career, or you could even run this for a 10 or 15-year period after to kind of see where things come out. I took 20 years. All right, I don't know if she's going to want to work for another 20 years or not, but just to kind of see how it came out. So if we were able to make the same return, which is unlikely, the S&P 500 is a pretty high number, right? Longer term, it's been closer to 10, and we want to be more conservative in our projections for investment returns, right? So this is kind of pie in the sky, 11.91%. If we did 47,000 at that number for another 20 years, that comes out to be over $500,000, right? So big number. Now, if we lower that down to 9%, more realistic rate of return, it comes out to be 285, still a big chunk of change. And then of course, if we go with a little more conservative, $157,000 is what we would have if we made 6% over that next 20-year period. So I wanted to share this because I think it's important. I know my wife won't mind me sharing these numbers either. She is still, like I said, she's good with money. So this was just one of those things. You don't know what you don't know at the moment, okay? I think it's important because we do need to really put it in context, that opportunity cost that comes with if you need to take a pause or a break in your contributions. If you have those competing goals, sometimes it's okay, but we want that to be kind of the last resort to pause or put off on our contributions to investment accounts, things that are going to grow over the long term, right? Or, avoid making those purchases, putting money into new vehicles, things that are going to depreciate versus putting money into our investments, right? And this was just an illustration with the match, but of course you could do this with any numbers. And if you're not saving 20% of your income, you're only saving 15, still the numbers work the same exact way. So it's important to really look at that and try to carve out, know what your numbers are so that you can hit those goals, right? Because we want balance today and tomorrow, just keeping in perspective the opportunity cost that comes along with not investing or missing contributions. Now, if you'd like a little bit more advice on the TSP, I just created a video, how to plan and invest with your TSP. And we walk through account contributions, how much you should be thinking about contributing each year, the contribution type, Roth versus traditional, as well as what the investment options look like and when and how to think about making changes. So check that out on the channel. And if you have a chance, please subscribe to what we're doing here on the YouTube channel. Love to see that.